At People Pro, we're business coaches. What that means is that we work with individuals to increase their results delivery in the workplace. Behind our work stand a series of tools or frameworks which we use to understand first the business of coaching, but then also help the people we coach to understand who they are and increase their self-awareness. Decades of research have indicated that the more an individual is accurately aware of who they are and how they behave, the more effective they are in interacting with other people in the workplace. And the first part of this framework that we use is self-image. How do I see myself? How do you see yourself within your own mind? Related to that is a projected self-image, your sense of how you think other people see you and your behavior in the workplace. Sometimes those two are very highly correlated. They're much the same. Sometimes they're very different for an individual. And understanding that sameness or difference is very important for a business coach to be effective when they're working with an individual. A coach needs a clear sense of how does this person see themselves as a manager or professional in the workplace, and how does this person think that other people see their behaving in the workplace. As well, we all have a self-ideal, who we want to be, who we value being. And once again, there might be a great degree of overlap between our self-image and our self-ideal. In fact, research has indicated that some degree of distance between how we see ourselves as a person and how we want to be as a person is in fact what motivates us to develop and grow. So once again, it's important for a business coach to have a real sense of how connected are these, what is the overlap between them with respect to the person that's being coached. Inside an individual, all these things interact. And that interaction leads to actual behavior, how the person behaves in the workplace. And of course, other people now see that behavior. They don't generally have access to the internal psychodynamics of the individual, the dynamic tension between self-image, projected self-image, and self-ideal, but they certainly see how the person behaves, and 360 and other tools tap into that perception of other people when they look at your behavior. Congruent, transparent individuals, people who people say are highly congruent, are highly transparent, whose words and behaviors come together, are the same, are people where there's a high degree of correlation, psychological term used in psychology, a high degree of overlap or similarity between all five of these dynamics. A person's self-image overlaps in a great way with their self-ideal, but not necessarily completely because they still want to be motivated to develop. With that person's understanding of how other people see them, with the actual behavior that the person engages in the workplace, and therefore with others' perceptions of that person's behavior in the workplace. When you have that, when you have this degree of overlap, you get what we call social intelligence. And people who are socially intelligent don't need to reshape their perceptions of either themselves to resolve differences or conflicts between self-image, projected self-image, and self-ideal, or their perceptions of others to resolve those conflicts, to close the gaps between how they see themselves, self-image, how they think they're seen by others, projected self-image, and self-ideal, how they want to be. This framework is extremely important for coaches who work with business people to understand. At People Pros, we work with organizations and the leaders in organizations to inspire the people in those organizations to be their personal best at work. We do that by coaching individual leaders of all kinds. We grow talent through webinars, e-learning programs, and face-to-face professional development programs. And we consult with organizational leaders to implement agile talent management approaches. Go to our website, have a look at who we are, and then contact us. We're very much interested in working with you so that you can inspire your people to be their personal best at work.